The antique shop stood on a forgotten street corner, shrouded in perpetual twilight. Dust coated every surface, a testament to years of neglect. The air hung heavy with the scent of decay and forgotten memories. This was a place where time stood still, where whispers of the past lingered among the shadows. John pushed open the creaking door, the sound echoing through the silence. He stepped inside, his eyes struggling to adjust to the gloom. The shop's interior was a labyrinth of towering shelves and cluttered display cases. Objects from bygone eras loomed around him. Furniture with faded grandeur, chipped porcelain dolls with vacant eyes, and tarnished silver that had lost its shine. A musty smell filled his nostrils, a mix of old wood, decaying paper, and something faintly sweet. He coughed, waving a hand in front of his face. The dust motes danced in the single ray of sunlight that pierced the shop's gloom, illuminating a path through the cluttered maze. John wandered deeper into the shop, his gaze flitting from one object to another. Each piece held a story, a fragment of a life lived long ago. He felt a strange sense of unease, as if he were intruding on something private and forgotten. John's eyes fell upon a small, ornate music box tucked away on a shelf. It was crafted from dark wood, its surface inlaid with intricate silver designs. The silver had tarnished with age, giving it an eerie, almost sinister appearance. Unlike the other objects in the shop, which seemed content to fade into oblivion, the music box seemed to pulsate with a strange energy. He reached out, his fingers brushing against the cold, smooth wood. A shiver ran down his spine, as if an unseen current had passed through him. He picked it up, cradling it in his hands. The music box felt surprisingly heavy, its weight unsettling. He examined it more closely. The silver inlay depicted a swirling pattern of thorns and roses, their beauty intertwined with a sense of hidden danger. The craftsmanship was exquisite, each detail meticulously rendered. A small key protruded from the side. John hesitated for a moment, a sense of foreboding washing over him. He couldn't explain it, but something about the music box filled him with a deep unease. The melody was simple, childlike at first, a tinkling tune that seemed at odds with the music box's sinister appearance. John listened, captivated, as the notes danced in the air. It was a strangely compelling melody, both beautiful and unsettling. But as the music continued, a subtle shift occurred. A minor chord, a discordant note that sent a shiver down John's spine. The melody, once innocent, now held a hint of menace. It was like a shadow creeping across a sunny meadow, a subtle change in the atmosphere that hinted at something darker lurking beneath the surface. The music seemed to seep into John's very being, wrapping around his thoughts like a shroud. He felt a strange pull, a compulsion to keep listening, even as the melody grew increasingly unsettling. It was as if the music box was weaving a spell, its notes worming their way into his subconscious. John closed his eyes, trying to block out the music, but it was no use. The melody echoed in his mind, growing louder with each passing moment. He felt trapped, ensnared by a force he couldn't comprehend. John wasn't a bad man. He'd always tried to do the right thing, even when life had dealt him a losing hand. But lately, it seemed like everything he touched turned to dust. He'd lost his job, his apartment, and his girlfriend in quick succession. Now, he was adrift, clinging to the last vestiges of hope. He'd come to the antique shop looking for a bargain, something he could sell for a quick buck. He hadn't expected to find anything of value in this dusty old place, but the music box had called to him, its allure impossible to resist. Now, as he listened to its haunting melody, he felt a growing sense of despair. The music seemed to amplify his darkest thoughts, his deepest fears. He thought about his misfortunes, the unfairness of it all. He thought about the people who had wronged him, the ones he blamed for his current predicament. Anger, cold and sharp, began to bloom in his chest. He clutched the music box tighter, his knuckles turning white. The music swirled around him, feeding his resentment, urging him to act on his darkest impulses. At first, they were just whispers, faint suggestions at the edge of his consciousness. "They don't deserve your loyalty," a voice hissed. "They took everything from you." John tried to shake off the insidious thoughts, but they clung to him like cobwebs. The music seemed to amplify them, giving them form and substance. He pictured his former boss, the man who'd fired him without a second thought. He imagined confronting him, seeing the fear in his eyes. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Make them pay," they urged. "They deserve to suffer just as you have." John's hands trembled as he clutched the music box. He'd never considered himself a violent man, but the music was awakening something primal within him, a deep-seated rage he didn't know he possessed.